Hey guys, Coach Lewis, Upper Iowa, here with Figured Out Baseball. We're getting ready to go over basic infield drills. If you haven't watched my previous video, Basic Infield Setup, make sure you get to watch that one before we get on to this. Here we go. So what we're going to talk about today, right, is we're talking about the pre-pitch timing. We want to make sure that we're not just dead in the water, little Johnny out at this spot, ball gets hit, and we have no athleticism, no rhythm, right? So here's a very, very basic drill. I'm going to show the baseball, right, to the player, okay? As I bring this back, this is kind of starting to simulate the swing. As the ball gets out right to this spot, he's going to try and time it. He's going to begin his pre-pitch hop right as that ball is getting out of my hand. We're not worried about anything else. This drill is specifically trying to figure out our timing and our width with the pre-pitch hop, okay? So here's what it would look like. I come back, I roll forward. That's all we're worried about right there, okay? Again, now maybe I tell them, hey, go a little wider, see if that feels good on your pre-pitch hop and let me know. Good, now I maybe say, hey, let's go a little bit narrow, right? And tell me what you feel, tell me what you see. Good. Again, we don't want to get all concerned with mechanics and everything else. First and foremost, we need to make sure we're in the correct position to field the baseball just before the pitch is even thrown. Okay, so now that we got the straight on form, right, now we're going to start to work right and left. So I'm going to tell them we're going to go to the right. And here's going to be the timing, ball out of the hand, a little bit there, okay? Probably rolled it a little bit too fast. Now we're going to go to the left. Good. We'll go back to the right, a little bit slower, give him more time to get around. Again, we're just trying to make sure that he gets the timing. As this ball comes out of the hand, that's simulating ball off the bat. We have some rhythm. We're going to go back to the left here. Good. Now, if you wanted to kick this up a notch, obviously on this one I told him, hey, we're going right, we're going left. If we wanted to take it up to the next step, I would roll some without telling him which way we're going to go, right? I could also crank up the speed, right, depending on where we're at, how the kids are doing, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now that we have gone through our pre-pitch timing, now we want to start to figure out what width, right, on our legs and our feet works best for each guy. Everybody is different. Some guys are longer, taller, shorter, right? We're all different. We want to find out what's best for each guy. This is going to help our guys give us feedback because we're going to ask some questions as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to have him start all the way out, right, completely wide as his body will allow him. Again, everybody is different, okay? And I'm going to roll him the ball. He's going to try and be perfect, right? What do you feel there?
My butt burns.
Okay, right? So what I want him to do, I want him to take one small hop in, okay? Now, we're going to do it again, okay? Feel anything different?
A little easier.
A little bit easier, okay? Go ahead and take a hop in, all right? What do you got?
A lot easier.
A lot easier, okay? So there's not the strain on his body. Now we're going to start to get guys into a spot where this is going to challenge them a little bit with their body. I want them to keep going in, okay? What do you feel?
My knees are starting to go up.
Okay, right? So as soon as we get too narrow, our knees want to buckle, right? Keep going in. What do you feel?
They're really buckling.
Really wanting to go. Now go all the way together. What do you feel?
Now my hamstrings are burning.
Now the hamstrings are going, okay? So what we want to do with this, number one, it's going to help each guy figure out what works best for their body because, again, everybody's different. We don't need to cookie cut kids. But also, in the beginning and the end, it's going to be a very good stretch. Tell kids, hey, stand up, shake your legs out if they're burning, right? This isn't a drill where we're trying to bury the legs. We're just trying to figure out what works best for each guy. Again, because this is also a stretch at the beginning and at the end, this is part of our everyday drills. We're going to do this every day. 1 to 2, maybe 3, right? And again, allow your players to kind of dictate. If they feel like they want maybe another ball at a certain width or, narrowness, go ahead and let them do that, okay? Again, it's part of a stretch, just an everyday. We want them to feel continuously, there it is. I found my right width. This is what works for me. So once you've gone back and forth and you figured out your width, right, where your legs need to be, that's the kicker, right? That's the game replication stance and spot that we want to be in. Once you find it, you'll feel it, it'll click. That's what we're trying to repeat in a game. So now we're going to move on to getting some rhythm and some energy, right, and some momentum going towards our first base target. And again, we touched on previously, no matter how you feel the ball, no matter what you do, this is the next step. We've got to get out. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to show a ball. We're not in a hurry. This is a teaching phase drill. I'm going to show him. I'm going to come down. We're going to roll it. And now he's going to work on getting out of that fielding position with some rhythm and some momentum. Okay, here we go. One more, and then I'm going to have him freeze when we're done. Okay, good. So if we were to assume that first base, right, is going to be over in this direction, one of the biggest parts that we talk about is number one, he has balance. Balance to us is head over belly button in between the balls of his feet, right? If I were to drop the ball, that's pretty equal distance. That is balance and athletic to us, okay? The other thing, we got shoulders, right, square. Everything he's doing is working in that direction. Now he's going to be able to get out into his throwing lane really quickly. So when we get out of the fielding position, make sure that when we get here, we're lined up to target and ready to throw. So on this, we're going to overemphasize the shuffle, right? We want him to work on getting from that fielding position into an athletic position and being able to hold that athletic position. So we're going to do 3 shuffles over-exaggerated on this one. Good, got it? Obviously, come game time, right? And this is a drill. Coaches, certainly players, pay attention to yourself, right? If we can do it correct at 3, then let's try and do it correct at 2 shuffles. And once we have 2 shuffles, then obviously we're going to try and look for 1 shuffle as quick as we can, because the ball can always move faster than any human being that's ever played the game. So we're going to go kind of live here, 1 shuffle with a throw. Good. And if you notice, right, one of the things that we want, again, it's a drill, so it's kind of hard to show, but we want that rhythm and that momentum that he has. He's going to follow his throw. And again, it's a really good teaching tool, because if when you follow your throw, you know, if he would have come this way, we're off balance. If he would have gone that way, we're off balance. So as you do this, we should be able to hold a straight line all the way through from start to finish. We call this pole ball, right? It can also be wall ball. Doesn't really matter, any type of surface that you have. We're using baseballs today, but you can use anything. You use a wiffle ball. You know those little hard bouncy balls you get when you're a kid out of the gumball type machine? You can use those. You can use a tennis ball. Anything that bounces will work for this drill. This drill isn't about mechanics and all that kind of stuff. This is a fun drill. It's a competition, and it really forces guys to react, but also have a really good time. So the way we're going to start this drill, he's going to go ahead and face the pole. If you're new to this game, right, which a lot of you will be, you can start farther back. It's going to give you a better, opportunity to react. As you get better at it, then you can certainly get closer and decrease all the reaction time. But basically, the way it's going to start, he's going to face the pole, and I'm going to go ahead and throw one, and he's just got to react to it right off, right? And then as we do this and get better, I'm going to take 1 step in, so is he. We're going to do it again. And as you can see, all of a sudden, he's going to get forehands, he's going to get backhands, he's going to get a lot of different stuff. Nobody knows. It's all about reaction. Okay, so you saw how we do this with one individual. You can do it with 2. You can do it with a handful of guys. Number 1 is safety, right? But you can have people all around the pole, and the thing's going to wind up moving. We can dictate, hey, it's backhands, right? And if it becomes a forehand for a guy, but a backhand for him, the guy who bit on the forehand, he's out, right? It's kind of like a game, you're done, or we can say forehands, whatever it is. But the object, again, as soon as I field it, I've got to be quick and I've got to throw it to the pole. If I did field it and throw it and I miss the pole, then I'm out, and right, whoever's on that side they're gonna react, they're gonna field it, and they're gonna throw. All of a sudden you end up getting everything that you need, backhands, forehands, reaction times, all of those different things, and it is just an absolute lot of fun. This is something that started when I was a kid, grew up in a small town, and we didn't have any facilities or resources, so we would just go throw balls off of walls, telephone poles, you name it, we would find it. We used to take an old sock and wrap it up in duct tape, right? Because that was the only thing that we had, and that was our baseball. And so, again, be creative, use facilities that you have, be safe, guys. Coach Lewis with Figure It Out Baseball. Be sure to check out my next video, Coaching Life Lessons.